break even point for a single product company, break even point for a multi-product company, and obviously I'm going to be first quickly brushing up on contribution and PV ratio. So the idea is to understand or revise the concepts of contribution, PV ratio, break even point, and overall break even, that is multi-product companies break even point. Let's go. Concentrate. See, let me first take up, logically the first discussion should be contribution. Na? So let us take up the discussion on contribution. Right. What do you mean by contribution? See, generally the term contribution, what does it represent? The term contribution is used when, you know, somebody, some person, some person contributes money, gives money, right, to somebody else, when somebody gives money to somebody else, when one person gives money to someone else, and not just that, for a specific purpose, for a purpose, right? So this is what we understand usually as contribution. For instance, you may have contributed money to the Prime Minister's flood relief fund, or some other Chief Minister's flood relief fund, right? Or some school's building fund, right? Contribution towards building fund, contribution towards some education fund. If you look at it, uh, there is a person who's going to give this money, there's a person who's going to take this money, and the money is being given for a specific purpose. Three attributes, isn't it? Then why is that term contribution used in this context, right? Why is the term contribution used in this context? Who is giving money, who is receiving money, for what purpose? Some logic should be there. Let's go for it. See, here the person who is giving the money is called as, or the person who is giving the money is the product, right? The person who is taking the money is the business house, right? The person who is giving the money is the product, the person who is taking the money is the business house. What? Is the product different from the business? Yes, the product is different from the business, as you would have already studied in SM as well, right? Strategic management as well. A company may keep on adding products, or from time to time it may discard an old product and innovate for a new product, right? About, do not confuse a product for a business. That's the first clarity, right? So a business is different, a product is different. For instance, Sony International is a business house. It has a variety of products in various industries as well. It has a mobile phone brand Xperia, it has a TV brand Bravio, isn't it, PlayStation, whatnot. A product is therefore different from the business, right? Now, traditionally in costing, the traditional absorption based cost accounting systems, they were not capable of handling number processing or number crunching product wise to a great extent, because they spoiled everything by absorbing overheads, right? Without any direct or without any logical connect, they started absorbing overheads, so everything got spoiled. But in marginal costing system, which is considerably a modern system, right? Not the absolute modern. Nowadays, people have moved on further as well. But anyway, marginal costing system, under the marginal costing system, the thrust was to keep the product separate and the business separate. We wanted to analyze the performance of the product, and then how the product is helping my business, right? I want to analyze the performance of a product separately, and I want to see how the product is supporting my business. And when I have multiple products, therefore I'll have a good idea of which of my products are supporting my business at what degree, right? How much of support is each product extending to my business as a whole? You are able to visualize. So I'll be able to identify my stars, I'll be able to identify my dogs in some terms. Concentrate. So if some product is doing very well, I may be giving more funds, I may be giving more funds to develop it if it still has good market. But if a product is not performing well, then I don't know, if there is still scope, I may spend more on advertisement, or I may try to discard it. So these decisions about specific product lines are necessary, right? These decisions about specific product lines are necessary. Take another example, Samsung. It may have J7, J10, or you may have Redmi Note 9, Redmi Note 9 Pro, Redmi Note 9 1. These are different products. The company needs to know which of the products are making money for them and which of the products are not making money for them, right? So they separated product analysis and overall profit analysis, right? Product wise performance is separate and overall profit analysis for the business is separate. They became two distinct steps, right? So in marginal costing, they have a concept of contribution. That is, they will identify how much each product is contributing towards the overall business. How much each product is contributing towards the overall business. Any doubts in this? How much each product is contributing towards overall business? How come a product contribute money? What kind of monies do a product contribute, right? What, the product will go begging, huh? How does the product get money? How does the product get money? Simple. See, this money that I'm talking about, right? Product gives money, I told na. This money that I'm talking about here, this money that I'm talking about here, let me put it here, is selling price minus VC. Selling price minus VC. That is the money that the product can give. That is the money that the product can give to the business. How? Why? Simple. Imagine Sony, let's say sells a TV, right, for 15,000 rupees, right? So let's say selling price 15,000. Now, can this be the money that a particular TV brand can give to the company? Sony Bravio, imagine one of the models is sold at 15,000. So, is it the money that is contributed to the company? No, no. Or this, it has to spend, no? It has to spend money on variable cost, meaning supplier of components and then other manufacturing cost. To make the TV, I would have spent some money, Let's say that money was 12,000. About how much it can contribute? Balance, right? That balance is what we understand as contribution, 3,000. You are able to visualize. So the product will be able to contribute rupees 3,000 to the company. The product will be able to contribute rupees 3,000 to the company. Shall I proceed? It is SP minus VC. What is SP? The incremental revenue by selling one unit, right? What is VC? The incremental cost to produce one extra unit or buy and sell. Na? If you are a trader, to buy one extra unit and sell it, right? So the incremental cost to execute one sale, right, fully, is called as variable cost. The incremental revenue that you get is called as selling price. Obviously, we all know this, right? So shall I proceed? Right? So that is regarding what? That is regarding SP minus VC logic. So this is the money that the product will be able to contribute, right? Then concentrate. And for what purpose, ma? There has to be some purpose, no? You cannot have a contribution without a purpose. See, this business house has to run, no? See, across products, over many products use the facilities of the company. For example, showroom. Imagine a Sony showroom is there, right? A Sony showroom is there, and you have paid rent for that showroom. You are paying rent for that showroom. Inside that showroom, will you keep only one product or many products? Many products. Apo, when you pay a rent on this, when you pay a rent or when you pay a salary for the manager of the showroom, right? So these are these are common expenses, fixed cost. These are common expenses, fixed cost. They are not dependent on the products that you produce. They are not dependent on the products that you produce. It is based on time, monthly, quarterly, whatever, right? So what they are primarily fixed cost. You are able to visualize. Apo, these contributions have to be used to recover this fixed cost. These contributions have to be used to recover this fixed cost, right? So I'll primarily recover the fixed cost. So the purpose is to recover fixed cost, right? So here I have recovered the variable cost. We all know total cost can be broken into variable cost and fixed cost. Already the product has recovered the variable cost. So what is now left out to be recovered? Only the fixed cost. Those expenses which are not tagged to the output itself. Those expenses which are not linearly moving with the product. Rather, they are constant. Right? These are expenses which do not change with a change in output. These are expenses which do not change with change in output. When output keeps changing, these expenses do not change. They stay put. They are called as what? Fixed cost. FC may change on account of inflation or deflation, something else, but not the output. When there's a change in output, or when you keep selling more and more, imagine when I keep selling more and more of this product, FC is not going to change. Or if the sales of this product drops, FC is not going to drop, right? So these are FC. Shall I proceed? So the amount contributed by the product to the business is first used to recover the FC. Is first used to recover the FC. Now, if suppose the FC, if suppose the FC is fully recovered, then also you have some balance, excess of contribution over FC is profit, right? Excess of contribution over FC is profit. So the contribution was received. From that contribution I have met the FC. Even after that I have some money in my hand. Even after that I have some money in my hand. That extra money is what we understand as profit, right? In other words, it's contribution surplus. It's contribution surplus. You are able to visualize what I'm saying, right? So contribution minus FC. If contribution is greater than FC, whatever remains is what is my profit. So any doubts in this? Shall I proceed? So the purpose why contribution is used, the purpose why contribution is used is contribution is used to recover FC. Even after recovering FC, if you still have some contribution left out, if you still have some contribution surplus, then that contribution surplus is understood as profit, right? So this you can also understand as contribution surplus, profit or contribution surplus. Get it? Right. Now, shall I proceed? Let's consolidate. Imagine, concentrate, imagine. Amma, I just want you to observe certain things. Focus, focus. See, sales minus total cost is equal to profit. Sales minus total cost can be broken into variable cost minus fixed cost is equal to profit, right? So, sales minus variable cost I know is contribution, isn't it? Is contribution. If I take this FC this side, sales minus variable cost is equal to FC plus profit. So by linking, then FC plus profit should also be equal to what? FC plus profit should also be equal to FC plus profit should also be equal to contribution. You are able to visualize. So from this, one more formula you have understood. Sales minus VC is also contribution, and FC plus profit is also equal to contribution. FC plus profit should also be equal to contribution. Okay. Now concentrate. One last observation before I proceed to break even. See, Amma, this contribution here, FC plus profit is total contribution, right? Sales minus VC, this is also total contribution. Right. Do not confuse total contribution and contribution per unit. They are different things. I'll show. Concentrate. Imagine in a period I have sold 6,000 units. Selling price is 10. Variable cost is 6. Right? And my FC for the month, FC per month is 20,000, right? So this is all per unit, na, selling price per unit, VC per unit, okay. And I have sold 6,000 for the month, right? 6,000 units in a month, okay. Now how does things look? It is SP 10 minus VC 6. So how much is the product able to contribute to the company? The product is able to contribute, rupees 4 per unit to the company, right? Like that, how many units have been sold? Like that, you have sold 6,000 units. Like that, you have sold 6,000 units. So if you have sold 6,000 units and each unit is contributing 4 rupees, right? Our total contribution is 24,000, right? So of this total contribution of 24,000, FC, how much goes away? FC is 20,000. So even after meeting the FC, how much of my contribution remains? How much of my contribution remains? 4,000 of my contribution remains. This is what we understand as profit or contribution surplus. Surplus of contribution over FC. Surplus of contribution over FC. You are able to visualize. So contribution per unit is different. Total contribution is different. Be aware of it. Right? Be very clear of it. Shall I proceed? Right. Having understood what contribution is in a jiffy, we'll go for break-even point. We'll go for break-even point. What is this concept of break-even point? See, break-even point is the level at which the company makes no profit, no loss, right? Why do you need it? The company is not going to make any profit at that level, right? Why even the managers are interested in that number? See, the issue is this: it's like a target, right? It's like a hurdle that you need to cross, and even after you have crossed, you want to know by how much you have cleared it, right? Even after you have crossed, you want to know by how much you have cleared it. You are able to visualize: have I cleared it well, or am I still in the risk of going below that? So break-even point is something like a target or a hurdle which I keep in my mind when I jump. Like an athlete who is running, who wants to clear the hurdle nicely, isn't it? So every time you start operating, you see for this month how much is the break-even point, right? So accordingly, I'll make my plans. So this is like a planning tool. So my sales target to my salesman will be much more than the break even. Unless I know the break even, I cannot fix a cushion and then fix a target, right? So I have to know, I have to set up a margin, and then my target sales shall be break even sales plus some margin extra, just to be safe, isn't it? So first I have to know what is my break even. Then I want to decide how much margin I want, and break even plus margin will be my total sales. You are able to visualize sales target that I will give to my salesman. Therefore I need to know what is my break even. Break even is the place at which you make no profit, no loss. Break even is the place at which you neither make a profit nor make a loss. Break even is the place at which you make neither profit nor loss, right? See, when product contributes money to the business, contribution, let's say the money given is the contribution. The business uses that first to what? First to recover FC, right? The balance is profit. Balance is profit. Profit is the balance. Now, at break even point, I know profit is zero. At break even point, I know profit is zero. Or I want to find out the level at which my profit is exactly zero, the minimum target, right? Profit is zero. Can I say my contribution will just cover my FC? Can I say my contribution will just cover my FC? Yes. So at BEP, contribution will be FC. Contribution will just cover my FC. At BEP, contribution will cover only FC. Shall I proceed? No. Let us take up a situation. Quickly. Imagine I am selling. Let's say cups. Okay. Each cup I buy at 6. I sell, let's say, at 10. Okay. My FC is, let us say, 12,000 rupees per month. So how many units should I sell every month? How many units should I sell every month? Right? How many units should I sell every month to break even? That is to ensure I don't have, that is the number of units I sell at which there is no profit, no loss. Again, I am not interested in breaking even. I am interested in making a profit. But the profit plan can be what made only when I know at least how much I should first sell to break even. On that I can add a cushion and then set my targets, isn't it? Anyway, so how many units should I now sell to break even? How many units should I now sell to break even? You were able to visualize my question. Very simple, right? How to answer? Concentrate. If I sell one cup, I'll get 4 rupees, right? If I sell one cup, I'll get 4 rupees. My FC is 12,000 ma. Say it's rent. Imagine my shop rent. My shop's rent is 12,000. If I only sell one cup, the product would have given me only 4 rupees. The product would have given me only 4 rupees. Would I have broken even? I would have not broken even, obviously. I will make a loss of 11,996, isn't it? I'll make a loss of 11,996. So, how do I even break even? How do I even break even? To break even, I need how much? I need 12,000 ma. So, if one cup can bring me 4 rupees, how many cups will ensure 4,000? Third standard question, right? Or fourth standard question. Concentrate to solve. So what will happen? You will go for a cross multiplication, right? It becomes 12,000 by 4. That's how you solve, no? 12,000 by 4, which is 3,000 cups. I have to sell 3,000 cups every month to break even. I have to sell 3,000 cups every month to break even. So how have I got this number? It is nothing but FC divided by contribution per unit, isn't it? 12,000 is my FC, contribution per unit is my 4. That is 4 rupees is my contribution per unit. So this gives me break even units, break even point units. Simple formula, it is going to be FC by contribution per unit. The concept is this: I at break even point I have to recover my FC fully. The contribution should equal exactly my FC. If I sell 1 rupee, contribution is 4. Sorry, if I sell 1 cup, my contribution is 4. I need 12,000 rupees, isn't it? At BEP, contribution is equal to FC na. At BEP, remember, at BEP, contribution is equal to FC na. So my contribution should be not 4 rupees, but it should be 12 rupees. You are able to visualize. Why contribution should be equal to FC? So that profit is zero. There's neither a profit nor a loss. From contribution, if you take away FC, what remains is profit. From contribution, if you take away FC, what remains is profit. And if contribution and FC are the same numbers, nothing will remain. If contribution and FC are the same numbers, nothing will remain. Zero FC, sorry, zero profit, isn't it? That's where we are trying to reach at, isn't it? So I need my FC to be recovered exactly by my contribution. So contribution is equal to FC. If I sell one cup, I'll only get 4 rupees, right? I need 12,000. I need 12,000, right? So you can Assume it as 4x is equal to 12,000, x is equal to 3,000. You are able to visualize what I'm saying, right? So it is nothing but FC by contribution per unit. This is how you can remember or understand this formula. Shall I proceed? No, concentrate. Quickly verify it. Quickly verify it. My sales. My sales will be 3,000 into 10, 30,000. My variable cost will be same 3,000. 3,000 into 6, 18,000. About my contribution is 12,000. Hmm? And the product has given the product has contributed 12,000 to the company. Now what the company will do with this? First it will use it for FC, isn't it? How much is your FC? 12,000 used for FC, 12,000. So balance profit 0. You are able to visualize. So that is regarding our break even intro. Normal single product, I am talking only about one product here, isn't it? I am talking only about one product here. This is a single product break even point. Let us go for the next concept quickly. The concept of PV ratio. The concept of PV ratio. What do we mean by the term PV ratio? It's not a new term. PV ratio, it is nothing but contribution, but expressed in a different term. Concentrate. In the previous example, I told you, uh, I am selling one cup, right? Imagine the cup is being sold. Selling price is 10. Variable cost is 6. So contribution per unit is 4. Right? Now, as a manager, many times, you may have decisions which are in terms of rupee value. You may not have decisions in terms of units, but you may have decisions in terms of rupee value. You are able to visualize. For example, I want to know what is the break even point in rupee value. I don't want to know how many cups I have to sell. Lastly, we found out that we have to sell 3,000 cups. The manager is not interested in knowing how many cups I need to sell, but he is interested in knowing how many rupees, for how much rupees or how much rupee value he has to sell. So in many situations, decision making process is in rupee value. In many scenarios, decision making process is in rupee value. So when you have to handle rupee value criterias, you need to convert your contribution also in terms of rupee value. So when you convert this contribution into rupee value, concentrate. So imagine, can I now say, if I sell cups, look at the language, ma. If I sell cups, I will earn a contribution of rupees 4 per rupees 10 sales. You are able to visualize. If I sell cups, the product cup gives me 4 rupees contribution per rupees 10 sales. For every 10 rupees of sales, it gives me 4. That's all. Now I'm going to convert this into a ratio. Right? Once you convert this into a ratio, it becomes what? It is rupees 4 per 10. Per 10 rupees of sales, it is 4 rupees. So my PV ratio is 0.4. PV ratio. My PV is equal to 0.4. Shall I proceed? Right? Now, why is it called as profit volume ratio? There's a naming logic, right? I'll cover it in one more topic, right? Maybe today I don't want to do it. Probably I'll club it with semi-variable cost. How semi-variable costs are segregated, another important topic, right? So when I'm going to discuss about semi-variable segregation and related issues, I'll also give you the naming logic, why it's called as profit volume ratio. And with that, I'll also discuss about one more formula to calculate PV ratio, right? But here it's a concept based formula. I have given you the concept based formula. It is nothing but contribution by sales. So you can calculate this as, you know, so first of all, what is the answer here? It is zero point 0.4, isn't it? 10 by, sorry, 4 by 10 is zero point 0.4. What is this? How do you tell this? It is 40 paise per rupee, right? It is 40 paise per rupee. I'm earning a contribution of 40 paise per rupee, right? When you say I'm earning a contribution of 4 rupees per cup, it is contribution. When you convert it into rupee terms, if I say for every 10 rupees, that is for every rupee of sales in the cup division, I am earning 40 paise. For every rupee of sales in the cup division, I am earning 40 paise. Then I have converted contribution in parlance of PV ratio. That's all. It's only language change. Substance has not changed. Substance is still the surplus, right? It is still what the product contributes to the business, right? This cup as a product is contributing 40 paise for every 1 rupee of sale. The cup as a product is contributing 40 paise per rupee of sale to the product. That never changes. You are able to visualize. So that is the same. As I told you in another video, I'll cover one more formula, very nice, interesting formula for PV ratio, and I'll also with along with that formula, I'll give you the logic in the name, right? Why is it called as profit volume ratio? So do not get confused. It's not profit, it continues to be contribution, right? It is contribution in another parlance. Shall I proceed? Right now, Amma, I have got this 40 pies by calculating what? By calculating 4 by 10. But surprisingly, I just now noticed what was my earlier contribution in this sum you take. In the previous illustration, if you look at it, if you look at it, what is your contribution? In the previous illustration, your contribution is your contribution is 12,000 rupees. Do you agree? Look at this. Your contribution is 12,000 rupees, and I think your sales was 30,000. You are right. Right. Come back here. அப்போ my total contribution in the earlier example was 12,000, and my total sales was 30,000, right? Even this gave me the same 40 pies. Is it a coincidence or a pattern? Is this a coincidence or a pattern? What do you think? Is this a coincidence or a pattern? Hmm? Why it's a pattern, absolutely. It's a pattern, absolutely. Look at this. Look at this. You break this 12,000. You break open this 12,000. It can be broken open as 3,000 units at the rate of rupees 4. Divided by, break open the denominator, it is 3,000 units at the rate of 10, right? So if you cancel this out, it still remains to be 4 by 10, right? So remember, it will never change. So this 4 by 10 will only keep on transcending, right? As long as you calculate the contribution and sales on the same number of units, and which is the correct thing to do now. PV ratio will never change. PV ratio will never change. PV ratio will not change with volume. PV ratio will change only when you tamper with your selling price, or your VC. PV ratio will change only when you tamper with your selling price or your VC per unit. Unless they change, right? PV ratio is not supposed to change. Shall I proceed? So that is the basic story of PV ratio. It's nothing but contribution. It is nothing but contribution. Right. Having discussed quickly about what is PV ratio, let's now try to use PV ratio to calculate break-even point. When I use PV ratio to calculate break-even point, I'll be calculating break-even point in rupee value, right? So it is about break-even point in value. The concept remains the same, right? Concept remains the same. Earlier, it was, I said, I'm earning 4 rupees per cup, right? Or let me show this. For 1 cup, I'm earning 4. So to earn 12,000, how many cups should I do? So it's 12,000 by 4. 3000. What now? Into this, into 1 cup na, into 1 cup. Let me show it here. 1 cup into. Okay. So the answer will be in cups. You are able to visualize. It will be 3000 cups. Alternatively, I want to know what is the break even in value. This is break even in units, right? But I want to earn what I want to know break even in value, right? This is the calculation of BEP in units. Alternatively, I want to know what is the break even in rupees. I want to know what is the break even in rupees. Look at this. See, for every 1 rupee of sale, 1 rupee of sale. So that is the importance of understanding the concept clearly. What is PV ratio? Is it a revolutionary new concept or simply contribution expressed per rupee of sale? It is contribution expressed per rupee of sale, right? Above, for every 1 rupee of sale, I am making a contribution of, I'm earning a contribution of 40 pice, right? I'm earning a contribution of 40 pice. And am I happy with 40 pice? No, to break even, my contribution should exactly recover FC. So how much I should recover? 12,000. I should be recovering 12,000. You are able to visualize. So how much? Same logic, it will be uh, 1 rupee into cross multiply 12,000 divided by 0.4. 12,000 divided by 0.4 into 1. So this is how much? This is rupees 30,000. So the break even now has changed to rupees 30,000. Is it right? Yeah, it's right. It is like what? 3,000 cups of 10 each. 3,000 cups into rupees 10. So now don't start thinking why I should use this at all. I already know 3,000 cups. I already know 10 rupees per cup. I could have straight away multiplied and got the answer. No. In this problem, right? But you cannot take away the formula, isn't it? You cannot bypass a formula and say I'll stick to one formula. You don't know. You never know what application will come up in the examination, right? So in the examination, you may have to use the second one, right? And moreover, formulas carry marks, right? Formulas carry marks as well. So a key, the examiner may give marks only when you write the key, sorry, only when you write the formula, right? There may be some marks allotted to the formula. So concentrate. How is this formula looking like, ma? How is this formula looking like? Can you recognize this computation? It is looking like what? FC by PV, correct? 12,000 is my FC, zero point 0.4 is my PV. 12,000 is my FC, zero point 0.4 is my PV. So break even in rupee. This will give me what? Break even in rupee. Break even value, right? Break even value is equal to FC by PV. You are able to visualize. Any doubts in this? See, the same thing can be cross-verified or arrived at through various procedures. You can arrive this through various procedures. I'm not going to do all that. I'm only giving the conceptual explanation, right? One single simple conceptual explanation is what I'm focusing on, right? I hope you have understood this. Shall I proceed? So BEP in rupee value, BEP in rupee value is FC divided by PV, FC divided by PV, which is 12,000 divided by 0.4. I showed the numbers first. I want 12,000 totally. Every rupee gets me 40 pice. Every rupee gets me 40 pice. So to get 12,000, I need to go for 30,000. It's nothing but FC by PV. You are able to visualize. That is regarding your BEP in rupee value.